morning, everyone. My name is BAO from Hongha Elementary School. As you know that one of the hottest global concerns is poverty. Have you ever asked why many poor countries in the world still have not escaped poverty, though we have tried to help? Is our aid not enough? Or is there any reason else? Well, every year we spend hundreds of billions of dollars trying to erase extreme poverty. And, well, in fact, we've made some progress. We've reduced the poverty rate from about 35% in the 1990s to just under 10% today. And the poverty line is shifted from $1.90 per day to $2.15 per day. However, if you look at these 18 poor income countries and you compare their GDP per capita in the 1960s and you compare that data with the data in the 2015, what you find is that these countries are even poorer than they were 50 years ago. So, and the net official development assistance for these countries has been increasing from about $10 billion in the 1960s to $160 billion in the 2016. So why that? Why the more money they get, the poorer they become? Maybe the people there just wait for our aid and then they waste all of the money. Let me make it clear. So there are a lot of solutions carried out at the same time, like free education, donation, charity, and so on. But all of these material supports are just temporary and they cannot eliminate the root cause. So poverty end is a far cry from prosperity, and rising prosperity is a means for many ends, not just poverty. So back to the rod and fish math problem, instead of focusing on eradicating poverty, we must think about innovations that could lead to prosperity. So, innovation is simply putting practical solutions to real problems, and many of the resources that are pushed on these poor communities are not practical because they simply can't afford them. And let's deep dive. So, in the 1850 to the early 90s, 70% of American was rural population, 10% access to electricity, and people have to spend 52% of their income on food. The status was even worse than some of the poorest countries today. But now, America is totally different, right? It becomes one of the most developed countries in the world. So, what has been happening in America? Did they push a bunch of resources on the populace, or did they use a different strategy? Well, America innovated. People created innovations that could create tons of jobs and improve the life of poor people. For example, in 1886, Henry Ford invented the car that even the average American could afford. And after the invention of the car, people started to pull the cars into their lives. Tons of new jobs were created, and agriculture became more common because it was easier to transport food from farms into the cities with the help of cars. So the government was able to tax people with gas taxes and car sales, and then was able to build roads for car transportation. Hence, innovation comes before infrastructure. So now let's take a look at this timeline. Besides the car, you can find many other greatest practical innovations that contributed to America development and make America a great dream for many people. Here. So for America and virtually every rich country, innovation comes before development. But somehow, for poor countries, we're trying to complete the process by making development come before innovation. So we're doing it backwards. So that's why some countries lose money, resources, and they're even poorer than before in spite of our help. So, sorry. So, to sum up, we must start to develop innovations for millions of people that are still getting stuck in poverty. A global innovation revolution is necessary to catapult humans from poverty to prosperity. Together, we're creating a brighter future for every one of us, where no one is left behind. Thank you.